We've got some round results to go through, and it was a much better week for my squad, considering we ended up 1700th overall in this round 3 rank, which was cool, out of 191,000 squad. So yeah, a big move, obviously, from 42,000 down to in the top 8,000. I was 6,000 before all of the updates last night, and then unfortunately Karaz is getting punted for 7 points, so not great on those fronts there, with Lustig going down 8, Karaz going down 7, Murray losing 2 overnight as well, Raps going up 2, so offsetting on that one. But yeah, Pap going down 4, and then who else was it? Grant going down 2. Yeah, I suppose that's about it. But yeah, losing like 20 points overnight dropped me back 2,000 spots. So let me know if that affected you guys as well. When we're looking at our squad this week, it's about obviously who's making money, who's not, who's putting out at least decent scores, and who's an absolute shocker in your sides. That's probably all you need to look at the moment. If you haven't checked out my fantasy tip of the week, go back to the 5 things I learned video with the fantasy tip in there. Then that's right at the end of the video. Go check that out. That'll be super helpful for you, I think, when you're looking at your team coming into round 4. And I did promise before I get into this that I wanted to show you all of the players in the player pool and who's scoring well compared to what they're priced at. And it's so much lower than this year than what it was last year. And you'll very much see that if you are scoring super well this year, you'll go up some decent cash. But if you're not performing, if you're performing a little bit under where your break even's at, the magic number does change each and every week as to how much you go up or down. And you'll see the guys aren't going crazy down or up if they're kind of in and around that break even. And if they're going, well past it, you're seeing some good jumps, obviously, with that of, Lockie Galvin getting a good jump based on where he was priced at. But yeah, a lot of guys aren't going, too far crazy up or down. You see like James Salmon there got a decent rise, and we'll speak about that in a sec. But go to the player pool, and Grant's performing under where he's priced at. Murray right on the dot. Terrell May's going above that. Cleary a bit under where he's priced at. He's down to 940k. You see Hines down to 944. Pretty much everyone apart from Raps and Karaz have done well for me. You see Karaz there, he only went up about 50k with an 89 compared to what we thought in other years he might go up to closer to 600, because the whole game's down in scoring. That affects things there as well, with Cotter kind of going up a little bit as well, which we'll go through in a sec. But yeah, Yo and Haas, the only ones really performing to their current potential. Hines is down. Hopgood at 57, so he's down on his price. Fanua Blake down a little bit as well, just a little bit. Johnson well down at 48, DCE at 41, crazy. Latrell Mitchell a little bit down after that low score there. Carrigan about right on the dot of where he should be scoring. Gagai the same. Olaquatu about the same. Same with Tohu Harris, a little bit above. Hosking well above. Another 60k in gains for him. Well done, team, or 50 odd. Tino well down, obviously with an injury. Tedesco a bit up. DeBellin well down. Tungo a bit up. We've got Moses well down at 48. Cook's well down on his. Reynolds with the injury, same. Papali'i, same. Holmes is up. Cartwright, same. You've got Foggs is up, but then Bateman's well down. Tarpany's well down. Drinkwater's down on his. Preston's down on his a little bit. Robson a little bit up. Ponga well down. McInnes well down. Frizzell well down. Madison's down on his. Hunt. Wilton's the same. Coruscant up. Brown well down. So you get the point. Butcher's down as well. And then a couple of guys about the same. And this is across the board. So most of our top tier guns aren't performing crazily well. There's a bunch of mid-rangers in the Hoskings, the Mays, these types of players that are doing well. A few of the cash cows making money as well with Galvin and the like, but even our mid-rangers in Lustig can go down as well. So just something to note heading into round 4, that if you can get on the right guy, you can make a tremendous amount of cash and get some decent points at that. So Galvin obviously becomes a very big target this week if you don't have him. Grant, if you own, I think we're clearly holding. I currently have 3 Storm players in Pap, in Grant, and Chan. And we're looking into round 4. Team list is going to be massive for our squad. So hopefully, it sounds like Terrell May's fine. NRL Physio got the A-OK for Terrell, which is good. Cotter, we're unsure if he's going to be back this week. He looked happy in their recovery session in the pool with the boys yesterday afternoon. So hopefully he's good to go for this week. And if not, it is a 1-week injury, but I really need him to play this week with the guys that I have out, and the quality of scores that we're getting from like Ethan Strange Hughes and Ben Trbojevic and Keeney at the moment. I'm going to need these top tier guns for me to be in there. And that's where I look at this squad now and go, oh, okay, with 200k in the bank, what can I do with the Keeneys and these types of players that aren't performing well? How do we get them up to some decent money-making scorers? That's where you're looking at this squad. And, I go, Harry, he's a hold. Murray's a hold. Terrell May's a hold. Salmon, at this stage, clearly is a hold. Minutes aren't great, but PPM was good. With the state of this team, Smithy's probably a hold for another week and hope that it's a bit more in the base stat side of things. Piakura, the 30, not great, but hopefully, he can stay in the back row position and have a better game. Cleary, we're holding and captaining. Hutchison is a clear hold now if he's in the side. Let's hope that was a good enough game with a win to keep that spot. Taylor May I wasn't happy with, but he's a hold. Trbojevic is going to be a hold this week. Karaz doing well. He's a hold. Keeney, probably more on the sell list, clearly. And hope that if he plays or not, who knows. Raps is going to be a hold. Hope he keeps the spot. There's a lot of questions coming into this week. Galvin's a buy. Lussick a clear hold. Cotter hopefully the same. Perhaps a hold. Strange, we just hope for better scoring. Levi, we hope for better scoring. And same for Sam Hughes. So overall, it's not a great position to be in. We may have to trim some of the fat in these cheapies that aren't scoring well, in like a Keeney. I think, Strange has higher scores in his game and obviously started his money making, which is good. And hopefully he can get back to some lesser missed tackles and get these scores back in the mid 20s to 30s rather than down at the 12. Levi, we just continue to get these mid-tier 20 scores with him and a little bit up in price. So, when you're looking at your squad this week, you might have a Tua Picky in there who's going to be out. You could have guys that failed HIAs. Seems like Sammy Walker's fine if you own him. So that's just what you need to look at. With your squad, go down the main 13, go down the interchange and go, well, look, are they causing me that many issues? If it's a no, it's only like one issue, or you're not happy with their score this week, or they have the ability to bounce back next week, then just keep them and then see what you can do with the fringe guys, I believe, and try and get some better scores out of your 15s and 20s, get them to 30s, and pick up an extra 20 points or so this week with some money making. Is probably where you want to be looking at, and giving all these other guys another shot is the best way to probably look at things. Just because the guys up top aren't scoring incredibly well, there's random bits and pieces of players that are outperforming what they're priced at, but for the most part, it's not happening. Thankful for me that I could get a good score this week in the 843. As I said, dropped about 20 points overnight and this morning, but still a great score. And I am seeing a lot of people that follow the channel here, follow the podcast, that have moved from like sort of 50,000th into the top 10,000, 27,000 into 7K, these types of movements, which is awesome. I'm super excited for all of you guys for that. And I do think that will start to continue improving for you guys if you can select the right captaincy option, obviously, and make the correct trades and, getting the Galvins. Did you get Terrell May this week? These types of guys that are going up in price. And we'll have a look at our, look at these jumps now while we're here. Easy enough to see it in this trade section. I think a few other people mentioned it, that they show it in the list view as well, which will, which is an easy way to get up as well. That's a list view there. It shows it in that one, so that works well, and it gives you their last 3 average and the like as well, which is cool. So if you haven't checked that out on the computer, do that. But Grant down 23 overall, Murray up 12, Terrell May up 127, huge. Salmon up 30 this week was big, so that's what I mean. You get a 37, it's a 30k price rise, which is absolutely massive. So hopefully Salmon can keep that up and get a few more 30s, and he'll make another 50k or so, which will be good. Smithy's only up 8, up 50 overall, 48 actually, but solid. Hopefully he can get back into the 40s with the good minutes this week. Piakura up 2 with his 30, so hopefully now he can start to make a little bit and get back to the 40 mark. Cleary's down 60 overall. It's not the worst, but thankfully a good game from him, and hopefully that can keep going. Hutchison up 25. May lost 14k this week, so hopefully that bounces back for him against a tough Roosters side. Ben Trbojevic up 17 for 99 overall. He'll start to slow down now. Karaz up 47. Now he's 23 up. Keeney down 3. He's down 5 overall, so that's tough. Raps up 54 overall. Another one, another decent score, and him and Karaz will go nuts. Galvin up 72, so that's what you can do at this cheap price. Big price rise of 72k, and you need to jump on this week. Lussick up 20, hopefully he can have a bounce back and make some more money. Cotter up 17, Pap up 47. Still 567, so if you did miss out, round 5's a good time to buy. Strange still up 13k. Chan didn't play. Levi up 14. Sam Hughes up 10. So there's a few of these guys are really slow burns, and they do need to get a 30 in their game or so to get things rolling again, that's for sure. I'm sitting with 200k in the bank. Obviously, you're double max traded so far, and will likely be doing so again in this week. And hopefully from round 5 or 6, we can save 1 or 2. And I think we'll be in a much better position at that. Let's look at the overall rankings now, and I'm 234 points behind. First overall, my squad value is at 10.664 with my cash in the bank. These guys up the top are anywhere between 10.8 and 11 million bucks to kick things off. 10.7s is somewhere, some of these guys in the top 20 as well. And some up at 11 and the like there. So not too far off overall. If we have a couple of good weeks in a row, we can very quickly get up into that sort of top 1,000, just with the jump not being too far. So 234 points, as I said, from first. But if we go, 2-3-1-4 for myself, we go to the top 100. So 100th place right now, 2-4-5-9. So yeah, it's only 145 points for myself behind the top 100, which is only a good week or two. So if you're anywhere in the top sort of 40,000, one or two good weeks, and you're very clearly in the top 5k or so, and you're in a really good position. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your squads, and if you're panicking or worrying about where your rank is, don't stress too much at that. So yeah, that's my results this week. It was pretty solid overall with some big scores in Kiraz with Rapana, which is the reason I bought those guys. They have the opportunity to go nuts on a weekly basis and sometimes go low. And you saw that with Taylor May and a few other players in Lussix and Cotters and stuff. So it wasn't the perfect week. It could have been better as well. With a few of those guys, and I didn't have to play Strange or something like that, so that helped me in that one, which other people ended up having to either copy his score, like my head-to-head team, or just to play Trebojevic and also Strange in that side. And up against Scoop this week in the FAM, 843 v 780, so Scoop a little bit down on that. Still made some ranks for him, but just want to say a big shout out to Fraser, who's winning the Community League, Riley in second, and Gerard in third, both all in a good positions. Rank 16 is Fraser, Riley's at 20, and Gerard's at 39. So congrats to you guys with Callan and Joseph to round out fourth and fifth, doing a cracking job in there. For the private group, we have Ash up there in 15th spot. I think he's the same points as Fraser. And then Rahul, a shout out to you at 26 overall, Brody at 137. So private group crew, a few of them doing well, with Bevan closely behind Brody at 149 ranking. Awesome to you guys, all beating me at the moment, sitting at 84th. My head-to-head, won that one, lost the one to Beto, so good stuff in the seeded league. And then the Blake Taft Shield, I got a win in that one as well. Moving to the Battle of Podcasts, Austin, a really good start from him, sitting at 413th. So well done in that front, getting 849 this week. And let's just see where he's positioned for next week. Tuapiki and Pap out coming into next week. Talau, he really hopes Talau's going to come back in this one. Otherwise, it might be... What's his setup? Where's Strange? Strange is already in there. Trebojevic is in the edge, so maybe you can work that out. They can bring him... Yeah, you'll be able to bring him back down to centers, bring Kiraz down. So yeah, pretty solid position overall, especially if Talau comes back. Doesn't have to trade in the wing fullback position, but yeah, overall having Kiraz, Turbo, Tuapiki, McInnes will be good. Yeah, so just a few things to think about. Obviously with Grant, Pat doesn't even have Chan, does he? So there you go. Only two Storm players, but a good position overall. Rob's sitting there from the amateurs as well in 1400th. Eddie's in at 4400, and we're all very close from Eddie all the way down to... We're probably here, 2284 with Brendan at 13,800, and then Scoop is a little bit of a gap down to 20,000 with him. Most of those guys in there, very similar scores at the moment. Like I'm at, almost 8,000, 2314. I'm 27 points behind Eddie, and he's at 4,400. So 27 points is, 2,500 ranks. So yeah, you can move very quickly with one good score. So that's the Battle of the Podcast right now. Very early on in the season. What am I? 535th in the Cowboys official so far. So yeah, on the way to slightly improving that one. And that's my round results for the week. We'll move to the head-to-head side, who a little bit of a lesser week considering we didn't have Kiraz in this one. And that was the difference. Kiraz this week, Hosking last week. There's always seems to be one player that comes out and absolutely dominates. So it was an improvement again, a 766. round rank wasn't anything special, just 20,830th, but into overall rank 4,493. And again, did end up making a later change in this one. It seems to be the play in the head-to-head team. We end up in positions where we're making changes late, and it might end up well. We got Wong in our team, and if there's the Lindsay Collins injury, potentially anything else that happens in his side, maybe Wong comes back onto the bench. I'm not sure. Considering he was in the extended bench, he could be the play in this one. Walker is playing, and then Keary may be back. So I wonder what happens with Sandon. I wonder what happens with Connor Watson. There's a few things there, but Wong might be back. Thankfully, in this squad, we don't have Grant. So next week should be a better week. We've got to get Galvin in. That needs to happen. And considering we have 145 in the bank, that's a good position to be. But 766, as I said, no Karaz. Did have Fogarty in this one. No Galvin, but traded in Drinkwater to just shore up the wing fullback position. Because after watching Tuapiki get the head knock and be out next week, Keeney not playing well at all, the team not playing great, Pap out as well. I'm sitting there with Turbo by himself, and then I would have had to make, at a minimum, 2 wing fullback trade-ins. So I was like, well, let's just sort out one of them this week. I think Drinkwater can score well. That was the case, thank goodness. Drinky was the play. Ponga would have been a good play as well. I think I just decided to go Drinky offset. I've got Ponga in my Supercoach team. So I was like, all right, Drinkwater in this team. That'll be more, that'll be a bit of fun there. And I think that he looks like he's running the footy well. The team's going to score lots of points, and he's going to be in amongst that. There'll be games where he scores some tries as well and does good things. So Drinky in, worked out all right, 56. This week, we're likely going to have to trade one wing fullback, and Galvin will be the other play. That's where we're going to be at. So if Galvin, we can get him in. If Wong's still not making this side, maybe he's the one to trade out for either the wing fullback or for Galvin, and then we can use our second trade for something else. Unsure at this point how that's going to look. Sully scoring 34 looks like a godsend when you've got Strange and you've got Trbojevic. As I said, I was going to play Chan. I decided to play Chan over Salmon in this squad. I couldn't loop him at all. I ended up having 2 out, and I still get Strange to score of 12. So I looped him in that, in his game at 5. Then I wasn't going to play him, and then Chan being out, I couldn't move him at all. Chan, unfortunately, so copped 25 less points. So they're the things that can happen sometimes. I did see a few other people stuck with that as well. Really happy with the Hosking situation, making a lot of money for our side. Fogarty as well, so having those two, very happy with that. That was good news. Tupanua up to 33, Brendan Smith 44, Turbo 46. He's got the Dragons next week, so that's an exciting one there. Brandon Smith will be an interesting one against Panthers, how that one looks. Worried about his scoring a little bit and the type of minutes he's going to get, but we will have to see their team list and where he ends up in terms of minutes in this squad. Very happy, as I said, to own Tommy Turbo this week and have the 2 Storm guys with Wong, Keeney. We'll see what happens with Cotter. So it could be 4 or 5 out in this squad. And yeah, again, it's probably likely a double trade week just to get things right, and we can conserve trades in the head-to-head team over the Origin period there as well. So continue to look at getting things right. Obviously, coming into round 4 now, we're getting closer and closer to the bye period. Tomorrow morning's video on the impact of the next 3 rounds, we'll have a further look into some of those players. If you are having a head-to-head decision on them in these weeks now, 4, 5, 6, then do add the Origin factor, especially if you're an overall team, obviously head-to-head team as well. You're looking to potentially have round 13, 16, and 19 off in your head-to-heads. Some leagues actually play in those games as well, but obviously you're still looking at getting the best player for your final 17 if you are looking at a gun. Obviously a mid-ranger at this point or a cash cow, you're looking to just make money, and you have enough time over this next sort of 8 to 10 weeks to make cash out of them, and then you're trading them anyway. So that's probably the main difference in the head-to-head system at the moment. You're still looking at getting the right guys that are going to make money, but if you are looking at buying a gun, just have a look at, if are they missing around 13 or a 16 or a 19, and that could be a bit easier for you to get through that week with those guys on a buy, but then they come back and play round 14, 15, all the way through, to the end of the season with, really good scoring is where you want to be looking at. But yeah, Galvin, the main guy I've missed here, and he'll come in along with a wing fullback as well. And unless Keeney plays, and if Keeney plays one more week, then we will look to potentially just hold that and hope that he plays a bit better, gets a few more opportunities, and make a change potentially somewhere else. But I do still think the wing fullback position is probably the play this week. And, Tupouniua is probably going to get a hold. I think that in a lot of teams, if you have a bunch of guys out this week or you just want to get, decent score in round 4, when you've got a few guys out, then Tupouniua could still definitely get you a 30-odd, a 40 if he scores a try, probably a little bit less if he gets smashed a little bit with some missed tackles and the like against this good Panthers side. So overall position, great, 4,493. We've had a good start, obviously having Hosking and Fogs the last few weeks. Getting Terrell in this week was a win. We got some good cash prizes, rises, and just missing Galvin, which we'll get to in a sec. But that's the squad at the moment, guys. No Levi, so we don't have to worry about him. We've got our hooking position sorted for now. We'll look to that eventually. Maybe, Appy and Robson and these types of guys could be options in the next few weeks. But for all the time that Brandon Smith is in that hooking position, I think we're going to be fine. And let me know where you're at with your squad after these results. Let me know down there what you scored and where you're ranked currently. I love seeing that, especially if you're doing pretty well. If you're doing poorly, as I said, it's like 30, 40, 50,000. Just make sure you get your trades right over the next few weeks and you will be able to plummet down those rankings and into a good spot. Thanks for being here for the round results video, guys, and we'll get into the rest of those options and all the things we need to know about heading into round 4, and hopefully things work out for us on the injury front. See you guys.